What can you tell us about the storms that are hitting that area right about now?
Well, right now it is pitch black outside and thundering like crazy. And we've had two, we think, tornadoes that have cut through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They're saying perhaps another one is likely to occur out by the Dallas-Fort Worth airport.
And we're looking at some of the damage right now on the screen. It looks like some tractor trailers have been overturned. Do we have any indication right now if there have been any injuries or deaths due to this storm?
We don't believe so. The last time we checked in with local authorities, they were not reporting any fatalities. We are unsure about injuries because there's some pretty severe structural damage to some houses in some neighborhoods.
Can you give us a sense of whether the worst is past? I mean, you mentioned that, you know, more could be on the way. What kind of messages are local authorities giving out towards to people? Are they telling them to stay in their homes? The usual tornado preparedness kind of thing. Is power out? Has you know, commerce and the daily life kind of come to a halt there?
Not really. Tornadoes are not very uncommon in Texas or Oklahoma. We're right in the sort of a part of the country that's often swept with tornadoes. This one is unusual in that it sort of menaced downtown Dallas, which is often spared. Looking out of my office window, I could still see trucks driving around. We did have about half an hour when downtown Dallas was told to take shelter. So everybody who was in an office tower, as we are, ran down into the basement or into the stairwells. I know schools have been sheltering students away from glass windows. The tornado warning has ended for Dallas County, but there are still warnings in effect for north of here.
So were the warnings given ahead of time? Did a lot of people get enough time in advance to take shelter and that kind of thing? I mean, in that kind of an area, sort of city like Dallas is, sure. I would assume they have a pretty good way to warn people of the severe weather that's coming.
Sure they do, and we have sirens, and the sirens went off, and everybody who hears these sirens, I mean, we take it pretty seriously down here, so people do generally start taking shelter. The people who are in the most trouble often are people in more rural areas because they may not hear the sirens or they may not live in buildings or houses that are as protected against tornadoes.
And as we look at all the tornadoes, it seems like it's been a pretty active season in terms of really severe weather and the tornadoes. Do you know anything about whether or not this year in particular is a higher amount of tornadoes that we've been seeing in that part of the country?
We're still pretty early in the tornado season, so I think it's a little soon to tell. You know, there have been a lot of tornadoes in the upper Midwest, which I think doesn't get them as often as we do down here.